Welcome back to DIY Security. This is going to be a continuation of Windows Privilege Escalation. This is part 3. So last time we left off on task 6, service escalation and executable files, which we used the check access, or they were trying to get us to use the check access, which is good if you know the entire the full path of something, but sometimes you don't always know the full path of whatever it is that you're trying to get to. So we ended up using PowerUp to make it a little bit easier, and it actually shows in a lot more detail, makes it easier to know. Anyway, today we're going to be focusing on startup applications and DLL hijacking. So first we will start up the machine, anyway, while we wait on this machine to load up, we'll talk about it for a minute. We're going to take advantage of startup applications, and they are similar to the auto runs that we exploited previously. Basically, when they run the machine, when the machine starts up, it's going to take advantage of one of the startup applications to gain a shell. So PowerUp would not actually help here because it's not always going to see everything. So we're going to be using a command called iCackles, or however you say it. And what iCackles is, it's a command line utility in Microsoft that allows users to view, modify, and manage permissions for files and folders. It's primarily used by system administrators to manage the access control list, or the ACLs, and the security identifiers, or the SIDs, for files and directories. Okay, now we are connected to the VPN. Let's just open another one. We can do a ping-c3, I think it is, and I didn't copy the IP. 10.10.217.246. Alright, we are connected. So let's jump right in. Okay, so first we'll open up the CMD. We'll click that. And we'll enter the command iCackles.exe, quotations C, program data, Microsoft Windows Start Menus Program Startup. Okay. Let's see if we can make this bigger. So for whatever reason, it just does not like getting bigger. But the main thing to note here is it's owned by bulletin users, but we have an F here. And anytime you see this F for a program, it means all access. Anyone has full access, any user. Okay. So knowing this, we can start up a MSF console. Oh, that's pretty cool. So it's pretty much repetition. We're going to be doing using the same payload, use multi-handler. and then we will set payload to Windows interpreter or meter or reverse underscore TCP. And I spelled meter wrong, I think. Or no, I'm supposed to have a space here. There we go. Okay, so we will do we'll just clear this, and then we'll show options. Now we're going to want to set our L host. So set L host to 10.9.0.94, and we can leave the port where it's at. So we will just click run. We'll open up another and here we're going to go into our transfer. Oops. Okay, so we still have our x.exe, and here we're going to want to, let's see, we'll go back to the try hack me. So we've done all of this. Place x.exe in the programs data Microsoft Windows program startup. So instead of x.exe, we're going to change it to z.exe. So we will do Python 3. It's what was it? Oh yeah, 8-m http server and on port 80. Alright, so heading back to the Windows machine, we'll open up our Internet Explorer. And type in http :// 10.9.0.94 on port, oh my goodness, ask me later, 0.94 port 80. Okay, there we go. So we're getting this z.exe, and we're going to save this. And let's just make sure we're saving it in the right place, which, yeah, it's what we checked with our iCackles. Program data Microsoft Windows start menu programs startup. Okay, so going back, go to computer, local disk C, go to, we can type in program data. Okay, then we got Microsoft, then Windows, start menu, programs, and then the startup. Okay, so now we save it in here, close this. So basically, we should be able to just log out, and then we're going to log back in as administrator. And what we're doing, we're simulating. So if we were just a normal user, so net local group so really this was supposed to, what was supposed to happen was, I believe I was supposed to switch it out, because these are the startup applications, this wallpaper info.exe, and it starts up as soon as you open. So if I rename this start up, I was supposed to replace it. That way, once it started up, it would automatically start. But I think I fudged up on that. But nonetheless, we got a shell. You get the point. So we'll just move on. We got our shell. So we're going to move on to DLL hijacking. So DLL hijacking, what is a DLL? DLL is a dynamic link library, which is a file used in the Windows operating system. It contains code and data that can be used by multiple programs simultaneously. DLLs facilitate code reuse, modularization, and efficient memory usage. They allow different programs to share a single copy of functions or resources they need. If you use Linux, it's kind of like a .so file, I believe it is. So like the shared single copy of functions or resources. Yeah. So what is DLL hijacking? DLL hijacking is a security vulnerability where an attacker tricks the program into loading malicious DLL instead of the intended legitimate one. This can happen if a program searches for the DLL with the name not found and has full permissions. By exploiting this vulnerability, we can get arbitrary code execution, or potentially gaining a shell, like we're going to try to do. Okay, so it says open the tools folder that's located on the desktop, then go to the process monitor folder. In reality, executables would be copied from a victim's host over to the attacker's host for analysis during runtime. Alternatively, the same software can be installed on the attacker's host for analysis. In this case, they can obtain it. To simulate this, right-click on procmon.exe, select Run as Administrator from the menu, and the procmon will select Filter. From the left side of the drop menu, select Process Name, and then, so it's quite a bit of steps. Let's see if I can remember. Okay, so back in the user machine, yep, we're no longer an administrator. We'll go to the tools folder. We'll go to process monitor. Then we will right click, run as administrator. Do our hacker 123. So we'll just agree to the terms. Okay, so now we could just run a tool like what is it, PowerSploit, but we're gonna manually kind of look and poke around for things, because sometimes you may not always be able to use PowerSploit, or it's good to be able to just manually look as well. So this shell, we may need to get out of this shell. This might be messing us up here. So exit. Okay, let's try this again. So filter, it says you can do Control L, or you could just click it here, and we're going to add a filter. We'll do architecture. Instead of that, we'll do result is, and then we'll type name, oops, name not found. That's what I'm missing. So we need to open the command prompt and type start downloadable, not downloadable, dynamic link library service. Start the dynamic, start the service. Man, this VM is going very slow, and it should start populating. We can see down here this temp hijack me .dll just screaming, hey, hijack me, right? So this is what we're going to end up hijacking. It's name not found. We're going to go back. We're going to just exit out of this for now. But this is the gist of it. We would make our filter, figure out what dynamic link library is not found, but what we have access to that we could possibly change. Okay, so we'll just exit out of this because this is making everything super slow anyway. So we'll go back to tools. We'll go to sources, or source, and this is what we want here, is this Windows underscore DLL.C. We're going to transfer this to our attacker machine. Okay. It's in tools and then CD into source. Okay, so now we'll go back to our attacker machine. We'll go ahead and exit out of this Python server. We will start a FTP server, so we'll do Python 3 dash m pi ftp dlib dash p 21 dash dash write. First though, I'm going to cd in a transfer. And now we'll do our Python 3 dash m pi ftp d lib dash p 21 dash dash write. Okay, so we'll head back to the Windows machine now, and we will just start our FTP at 10.9.0.94, which is our attacker machine. We will just log in as anonymous. Okay, then we will put okay, so transfer is complete. You can exit out of this, do an ls, and yes, we can see our Windows DLL is there. So now, similarly to what we did before, we're going to modify this a little bit. You can use whatever editing tool you like using on Linux. I like using mousepad personally. Windows DLL, not service. And we're going to be changing system command here. We're going to change it to cmd/k net local group administrators user add, user being us, the name of our user, not just any user, but that is us. Okay, so that looks right. We'll save this. Exit. Then we will run this command, x86_64-w64 ming w32-gcc, and then we are taking our Windows_DLL.c and we're compiling it, outputting it into the hijackme.dll. Okay, we'll enter on that. If we ls, we can now see the hijackme.dll is there. So now we'll start up our Python server again. So it says we're going to place the hijackme DLL in the ctemp. All right. There it is. We'll save this. Local disk, temp. We'll save. Okay, we'll close that. We should be able to just run, we'll exit out of this FTP. We should be able to run SC. Well, first we'll do our local net local group administrators. We can see we are not the administrators. Then we'll do our SC stop DLL service, SVC, and SC start DLL SVC. Okay, so it said it stopped, and then it started. And let's run that command again. And we can see we have elevated our privileges by dynamic link library hijacking, or DLL hijacking. User is now an administrator. Alright guys, that is going to be it for this video. I will catch you guys on part 4 next week. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you press that like button if you liked what you see. Leave some comments, feedback, questions, all down in the comments section. You guys have a great rest of your day or night, and happy hacking. Peace.